In the early 2000s, the internet was a digital frontier. It was a time of creative explosion, largely fueled by a simple but powerful tool called Macromedia Flash. This software allowed bedroom coders and amateur animators to bring their wild ideas to life. They shared these creations on websites like Newgrounds and Armor Games. Millions of people would play these games during their school lunch breaks or after work. Amid this vibrant scene, one developer created a phenomenon. This developer was known only by the name Shock Value. His most famous creation, Interactive Buddy, was a simple yet captivating game. It allowed players to interact with a digital character in countless ways. The game became a viral sensation, a cornerstone of internet culture from that time. The success of Interactive Buddy was immense. It was played by millions around the world, becoming a shared memory for an entire generation of internet users. Yet the person behind this iconic game remained completely hidden. In an age where creators often sought fame, Shock Value chose the opposite path. He was a ghost in the machine, a name without a face. This decision to remain anonymous was unusual. Other popular Flash developers of the era, such as Tom Fulp of Newgrounds or the creators of Alien Hominid, were well-known figures in the community. They engaged with their fans and were public about their work. Shock Value, however, was a mystery. This deliberate secrecy only made the public more curious about who he was. The mystery of Shock Value's identity is not just a forgotten piece of internet history. It continues to be a topic of discussion today, on forums like Reddit and in YouTube videos dedicated to internet mysteries. People are still fascinated by the idea that someone could create something so popular and then simply vanish from the public eye. The questions remain the same as they were nearly 2 decades ago. Who was the person who called himself Shock Value? Was it one person or a team? Why did they choose to remain so completely hidden from the millions of people who enjoyed their work? This enduring puzzle is a testament to the developer's commitment to privacy in a world that increasingly demands public exposure. This essay will explore the mystery behind the Shock Value alias. We will look at the few clues that have been left behind over the years. We will examine the evidence found in the games themselves and on old websites. We will also discuss the popular theories that have emerged from the community's long search for answers. The story of Shock Value is a fascinating look at anonymity in the digital age. It shows how a creator can leave a lasting legacy without ever revealing their true name. The developer's insistence on privacy has become a key part of the story, making the mystery of his identity as compelling as the games he created for the world to enjoy. The most direct evidence we have about the creator of Interactive Buddy comes from the games themselves. When you played the original game or its sequel, the credits clearly listed the developer as Shock Value. This was not a company name in the traditional sense. It was an alias, a pseudonym chosen by the creator to represent his work online. This name appeared everywhere his games were hosted. On popular Flash portals like Newgrounds, the creator's profile was under the Shock Value name. This was the only official identity he ever presented to the public. It was a brand, a signature that told players they were playing one of his unique and often quirky creations. The alias Shock Value was a fitting choice for the time. The early internet was a place where edgy and provocative content thrived. The name suggested a creator who was not afraid to push boundaries or create experiences that were surprising and unconventional. While Interactive Buddy could be seen as a simple physics sandbox, it also had a darker side. Players could use a wide array of weapons and tools on the digital character, leading to chaotic and sometimes violent results. The name Shock Value seemed to hint at this playful yet slightly dark humor. It was a name that was memorable and perfectly captured the spirit of his most famous game, making it an effective and lasting part of his digital persona. Beyond the name itself, the Shock Value profiles on game websites provided very little personal information. These profiles were strictly professional. They listed the games he had created and sometimes included a short, impersonal description of his work. There were no personal photos, no blog posts about his life, and no links to personal social media accounts. This was a clear and consistent pattern across all platforms where his games appeared. The creator was building a wall between his real-life identity and his online work. The Shock Value alias was the only piece of himself he was willing to share with the vast online audience that was discovering and enjoying his digital creations. This consistent use of the alias is the foundation of the entire mystery. Every official source points back to this single name. The game files, the website profiles, and the credits all say the same thing: created by Shock Value. This is the only piece of information that can be considered a verified fact. Everything else is speculation or a clue that leads to more questions. The developer established the shock value name as his public identity and never offered anything more. This commitment to using only the alias is the first and most important piece of the puzzle. It shows a deliberate and successful effort to separate the art from the artist in a very definitive way. The mystery surrounding shock value is not an accident. It was a conscious choice made by the developer. At the height of his popularity, he made a public statement about his identity. This statement was posted on his official website, shockvalue.net. In it, he directly addressed the growing curiosity about his real name. He explained that he had no intention of ever revealing it. He stated that he preferred to remain anonymous and wanted his work to speak for itself. This was not a case of a creator who was simply shy or overlooked. It was an active decision to keep his personal life completely separate from his online creations, a choice he clearly communicated to his audience. This desire for privacy makes the shock value story different from many other internet mysteries. Often anonymity is the result of someone disappearing or abandoning a project. In this case, the developer was active and successful, yet he chose to remain a ghost. He wanted people to focus on Interactive Buddy and his other games, not on the person who made them. This statement turned the mystery from a question of who is he, to why does he want to be anonymous. It added a new layer to his persona. He was not just a talented developer, he was a creator who deeply valued his privacy in a way that was rare for someone with such a popular creation. The reasons for this decision were never fully explained. He did not say if he had a job that he wanted to keep separate from his game development hobby, or if he simply did not want the attention that came with online fame. This lack of explanation has fueled much of the speculation over the years. Fans have wondered if he was a professional in another field who saw game development as just a side project. Others have suggested that he may have been very young at the time and wanted to avoid public scrutiny. Whatever the reason, his commitment to anonymity was absolute. He understood that the internet was making people more and more public, and he chose to go in the opposite direction. This public statement is a crucial piece of evidence. It confirms that the lack of information about him is intentional. It tells us that the search for his real identity is a search for something the creator never wanted to be found. This makes the entire situation more complex. On one hand, the public is naturally curious about the mind behind a beloved game. On the other hand, there is the ethical question of whether it is right to try and uncover the identity of someone who has explicitly asked to remain private. This tension is at the heart of the shock value mystery. It is a story about a creator who successfully controlled his own narrative by simply refusing to provide one. For many years, the trail for shock value's identity was completely cold. The only name associated with the games was the alias itself. However, that changed when Interactive Buddy made the jump from Flash games to mobile apps. When the game was released on mobile platforms like the Apple App Store, a new piece of information appeared. In the legal information listed for the app, a new name was present: Daniel M. Rotar. This was the first time any name other than shock value had been officially connected to the game in any capacity. For the community of fans and internet sleuths, this was a massive breakthrough. It seemed like the mystery might finally be solved. The appearance of the name Daniel M. Rotar was significant because app stores have stricter requirements for publishing. Unlike the old Flash game websites, platforms like Apple's require developers to provide real legal information for business and copyright purposes. While a developer can still use an alias for their public-facing profile, a real name often has to be on file. The name Daniel M. Rotar appeared in these more official listings, suggesting it could be the legal name of the person behind the shock value alias. This was not just a random name found on a forum, it was tied to the official release of the game on a major platform. However, it is extremely important to approach this clue with caution. While the name Daniel M. Rotar is officially linked to the mobile version of Interactive Buddy, there has never been any confirmation that this is the real name of the original shock value. It is possible that Daniel M. Rotar is the original creator. It is also possible that he is a different person entirely. For example, the original creator might have partnered with someone else to handle the mobile port of the game. This new partner, Daniel M. Rotar, would then be the one whose name appeared on the App Store listing. Without a direct statement from the creator, we cannot be certain of the connection. This lack of confirmation is a critical point. The name Daniel M. Rotar is a strong piece of evidence, but it is not definitive proof. It is a lead, not a conclusion. No public records or social media profiles have ever definitively linked a person named Daniel M. Rotar to the shock value alias or the original Flash games. The name exists in the App Store data, but the person remains a ghost. The community has latched onto this name as the most likely identity, but it remains an unverified theory. It is the best clue we have, but it is still just one piece of a much larger and more complicated puzzle that has yet to be solved. The search for shock value's identity was not limited to the games themselves. Dedicated fans and internet detectives have scoured the web for any other accounts or profiles that might be linked to the alias. Along the way, this search uncovered a few other digital breadcrumbs. For example, there's a YouTube channel under the name shockvalue.net. This channel was used to upload official trailers and gameplay footage of Interactive Buddy and other games. The content on the channel was professional and focused entirely on the games. Much like the Newgrounds profile, it offered no personal details about the creator, which, honestly, just reinforced the strict separation between the work and the individual behind it. Another interesting discovery was a DeviantArt account under the shock value name. Now, DeviantArt is a popular online community for artists to share their work. The shock value account on this platform was used to post artwork and assets related to the games, which gave fans a small glimpse into the creative process. However, just like the other profiles, it was purely professional. The account was used as a portfolio for the game-related art and nothing more. There were no personal journal entries, no photos, and no interactions that revealed anything about the creator's life outside of his game development work. The alias was a shield, and it was used consistently across every platform. The community's search also extended to looking for other potential names or aliases. Before the Daniel M. Rotar name appeared, people wondered if shock value was a pseudonym for another more well-known developer. This theory suggested that maybe a famous creator had used the alias for a side project. However, no evidence ever emerged to support this idea. The style of shock value's games was unique, and it just didn't clearly match the work of any other prominent Flash developer from that era. The idea that he was secretly someone famous was an exciting thought, but it remained pure speculation without any facts to back it up. These additional accounts on YouTube and DeviantArt are important because they show a pattern of deliberate brand management. The creator was not just a hobbyist posting a game online. He was carefully controlling his public image. He used multiple platforms to promote his work, but he maintained the same level of anonymity on all of them. Every new profile discovered under the shock value name only deepened the mystery. Instead of revealing more about the person, they simply reinforced the strength of the alias. The creator built a digital fortress around his real identity, and these scattered online accounts were just parts of its carefully constructed walls. With so few official clues, the community has been left to fill in the blanks with theories and speculation. The most prominent theory by far revolves around the name Daniel M. Rotar. Many people in the community have accepted this as the true identity of shock value. They point to the App Store listings as strong evidence. Online discussions often treat the names shock value and Daniel Rotar as interchangeable. This theory suggests that he was a young developer from the United States who simply wanted to keep his hobby private. It is a simple and believable explanation, which is why it has become so popular among fans of the game. Another area of intense speculation has been the ownership of the shockvalue.net domain name. For years, this was the official website for the developer's games. Internet users have used domain registration lookup tools known as GeoEyes searches to try and find the owner's name. However, for most of the domain's history, the ownership information was kept private through a privacy protection service. This was another dead end. It showed, once again, that the creator was taking active steps to hide his identity. The fact that he was willing to pay for a service to keep his name out of public records demonstrates a serious commitment to his anonymity. Over the years, more dramatic and unfounded rumors have also circulated. As is common with internet mysteries, some people have speculated about the developer's fate. These rumors often suggest that something tragic happened to him, explaining his long silence and disappearance from the game development scene. Some have suggested he passed away, while others have created stories about him losing interest in games or facing personal struggles. It is crucial to state that there is absolutely no evidence to support any of these claims. These are simply stories created by people to explain a long absence, and they should be treated as fiction, not fact. These theories, from the plausible to the purely imaginative, show how much people care about the mystery. The lack of information has created a vacuum, and the community has tried to fill it with stories. The Daniel Rotar theory is based on a real piece of data, making it the most credible. The domain search is based on a real investigative method, even if it led nowhere. The rumors about his fate, however, are a reminder of how easily misinformation can spread online. All of these threads of speculation taken together paint a picture of a community captivated by a creator who gave them a beloved game and then vanished into thin air. To truly understand the mystery of shock value, it is essential to draw a clear line between verified evidence and fan theories. The evidence is the collection of facts that we can prove. These are the solid pieces of the puzzle that come from official sources. The theories, on the other hand, are the stories we build to try and connect those pieces. They can be logical and well-reasoned, but they are not proven to be true. Confusing these two things can lead to a misunderstanding of what is actually known about the creator of Interactive Buddy. The first step in solving any mystery is to know what you're working with. Let's start with the hard evidence. We know for a fact that the creator used the alias shock value. This name appears in the game credits and on official profiles on Newgrounds and other websites. We also have direct evidence that the creator wished to remain anonymous. This comes from the statement he posted on his own website. Finally, we have the evidence from the mobile app stores, which lists the name Daniel M. Rotar as the seller of the Interactive Buddy app. These three things, the alias, the stated wish for privacy, and the name on the App Store, are the only pieces of solid, verifiable information that we have gathered over the years. Now let's look at the theories. The biggest theory is that Daniel M. Rotar is the real name of shock value. This is a very strong theory because the name is linked to an official product release. However, it remains a theory because there is no direct confirmation. The original creator has never said, "Yes, I am Daniel M. Rotar." It is an inference, a logical leap based on the evidence. Other theories, such as the idea that he was another famous developer in disguise or the rumors about his tragic fate, are much weaker. They are not based on any evidence at all and fall into the category of pure speculation or rumor. Understanding this distinction is key. It allows us to say what we know for sure while acknowledging what we don't. We know there was a creator named Shock Value. We know he wanted to be private. We know the name Daniel M. Rotar is connected to his work in some way, but we do not know if they are the same person. We do not know why he wanted to be anonymous, and we certainly do not know what happened to him. By separating fact from fiction, we can appreciate the mystery for what it is, an unsolved puzzle with a few tantalizing clues, but no final answer. This careful approach prevents us from accepting theories as facts and keeps the integrity of the search intact. After years of searching and speculation, what can we say for certain about the identity of shock value? The honest answer is very little. The core of the mystery remains intact. The true identity of the creator of Interactive Buddy has never been officially confirmed. The person behind the alias has done an exceptionally good job of maintaining their privacy over a very long period. Despite the game's massive popularity and the dedicated efforts of a curious community, the wall between the creator's public work and private life has never been broken down. The person remains a phantom of the Flash era. The only identity that is verifiably and consistently linked to the original games is the alias Shock Value. This is the name the creator chose for himself, and it is the only one he has ever used publicly in connection with his Flash game creations. It is the name in the credits, the name on the game portals, and the name that is remembered by millions of players. From an artistic and historical perspective, Shock Value is the creator of Interactive Buddy. This is the one fact that no one can dispute. The alias is the beginning, and for now, the end of the confirmed story. It is the signature on a masterpiece of internet culture. The name Daniel M. Rotar represents the most significant development in the search, but its meaning is still unclear. It is a powerful lead, but it is not a solution to the mystery. Without confirmation, it remains a piece of unverified information. It could be the creator, a business partner, a publisher, or someone else entirely. To state that Daniel M. Rotar is definitively Shock Value would be to overstep the evidence we currently have. It is the most popular theory and the most likely answer, but in the world of investigation, likely is not the same as confirmed. The connection is a strong possibility, but it is not a certainty. So in summary, what we truly know is this. A developer operating under the pseudonym Shock Value created Interactive Buddy. This developer expressed a clear desire to remain anonymous. Years later, the name Daniel M. Rotar was linked to the mobile version of the game. That is the full extent of the factual information available to the public. Everything else is a web of theories, rumors, and speculation. The identity of Shock Value is, therefore, officially unconfirmed. The person behind the screen has succeeded in staying there, leaving us with only the legacy of his work and the enduring puzzle of his name. The story of Shock Value is more than just an unsolved internet mystery. It is a powerful statement about privacy in the digital age. In a time when so many people are eager to share every detail of their lives online, the creator of Interactive Buddy made a different choice. He decided that his work was enough. He did not need the fame, the recognition, or the public persona that often comes with creating something popular. He wanted his games to be the focus, and he achieved that by making himself invisible. This deliberate act of self-erasure is what makes his story so unique and so compelling. This commitment to privacy has become a central part of his legacy. The mystery is not a side note to his success, it is intertwined with it. People remember Interactive Buddy not only because it was a fun game, but also because the person who made it was a complete enigma. The developer's anonymity adds a layer of mystique to the work. It invites us to wonder about the mind that could create such a thing, and then walk away from the spotlight. In a way, the creator's greatest trick was not programming a digital buddy, but creating a lasting mystery that has kept people talking for nearly 2 decades. As time goes on, it seems less and less likely that the mystery will ever be solved, at least not publicly. The developer has shown no interest in revealing himself, and the trail of clues has long since gone cold. Perhaps this is for the best. The story of Shock Value serves as a reminder that it is possible to contribute something meaningful to the world without sacrificing one's personal life. It challenges the modern idea that all creators must also be public figures. His story proves that art can stand on its own, separate from the artist. The mystery is, in itself, a form of preservation for his original intention. Ultimately, the enduring enigma of Shock Value is a testament to a mystery by design. The developer did not accidentally become anonymous, he chose it. He built his legacy on a foundation of creative work and deliberate privacy. He gave the world a game that brought joy and entertainment to millions, and in return, he asked for only one thing: to be left alone. The fact that his identity remains unconfirmed is not a failure of the community to find him. It is a success on his part to remain hidden. The phantom of the Flash era remains at large, and perhaps that is exactly how he wants it to be.